What is up? It is Miles Halter here, your chief guitar instructor, and today we're going to talk about top 7 things every beginner guitar player needs to know. So let's start diving right into it. And the first thing to note is always be in tune, because if you're not in tune, what's going to happen is, first of all, you're going to sound bad, and if you're playing with other people, then you're going to be out of tune with them as well. And on top of that, being in tune will help you to develop your relative pitch properly, like being able to hear a note and knowing that it sounds okay. Okay, and so that's why you should always be in tune. And then the next thing to talk about is rhythm guitar and timing. Of course, you can have the best harmonies, the best melodies on the planet. You can have the coolest chord progression on the planet, but you can't do anything with it if you haven't mastered your rhythm. And it starts by mastering personal rhythm, right? That's where you start. And rhythm, of course, involves time signatures, tempos, and then, of course, note types themselves, like half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, triplets, the whole 9 yards. So that's understanding rhythm. And it will take some time to grasp, and I strongly suggest working with some other musicians, in particular a drummer, in order to get your timing down. And if you don't have anyone else to practice with, well, even if you do have someone else to practice with, you should still practice with a metronome when you're at home. And then the next thing, number 3, is to memorize the string names. E, A, D, G, B, E. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye, Eddie. There are so many ways to memorize the names of the strings. And memorizing the string names is the first step in memorizing all the note names on the guitar. Because if you memorize the strings, then you've also memorized the names of the notes on the 12th fret, where you go from E to E and A to A. It's where the string names start to repeat themselves, because that's the next highest octave. So you want to memorize those string names early and fast. Okay, the next tip I have for you is to practice often. And, like when you're starting out, you want to practice often because the quality, the quantity matters, I guess, just as much as the quality. But yeah, just practice in little increments, because in the beginning, you're trying to remember, right? You're trying to memorize all these new concepts. You're trying to build up muscle memory in the left and right hands, and you're trying to remember how to play, a C chord, an A chord, or, a C major scale, right? I mean, there are so many things to learn. And if you're just practicing 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, and you're just focusing, and you're not noodling, and you're actually practicing, because remember, practice and noodling are very different. If you're practicing just 20 minutes a day, then you'll see progress faster than 99% of other guitar players, okay? And the next tip is learn how to hold your pick as soon as possible, because if you are a guitarist that uses a pick, then, well, it's really easy to develop bad picking technique from the beginning, and then after a few years you'll have to redevelop it down the road. And so you may as well learn how to pick properly from the start. And I did not learn to pick properly from the start. I was about 6 years in when I had to redevelop my technique. And the most popular way I've seen for guitarists to hold their pick, and the way I hold it, is with the D shape here. And what the D shape is you make this capital D shape where you've got your thumb, and then you bend in your index finger, put them together, and then you put the pick in there like so. And so you're holding it like that, kind of like a 90-degree angle, right? And so anyways, yeah, learn how to hold your pick as soon as possible. Plenty of resources out there to help you do that. Okay, and the next thing to consider is movable chords. Now, this is just a fun tip, really, but once you start to learn chords that are not open, like, you could even look at your A minor chord, or your D major chord, or your E major chord, you can move these, and as long as you're not playing other open strings, then it will create a new chord. So you can go from like E major to F major to G major, right? Or D major to E major to F major to G major. I mean, it's a really incredible technique to get down. Oh, it's not really a technique, but it's just a concept that you need to learn early on, and it will really help you in the long run with your guitar playing. And last but not least is you'll want to memorize the musical alphabet, which is a piece of cake. You know, it's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and most people usually learn with the C scale because that's all natural notes, which means there's no sharps and no flats. So that'd be C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And then you just have to remember that every note has a sharp aside from your E note because, well, yeah, your E note doesn't have a sharp and your B note doesn't have a sharp. And one of the best ways to look at this is on a piano and look where there are no black keys, right? You can basically visualize each individual guitar string as almost like its own piano in that sense. So anyways, those are your 7 things that every beginner guitar player needs to know, and you know, hopefully that'll help you out in your long-term guitar playing journey, right? So anyways, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and please like the video as that really helps out the channel, and of course subscribe if you want more future guitar content. And once again, thanks for watching, and rock on!